After years of heartbreak, near misses, and second-tier struggles, Hamburger are finally back in the Bundesliga. No, not that one. Because one of the biggest German sleeping giants is now having a promotion party. However, after years of bottles, they need to make sure this is a permanent one. As they're going to be hiring me, I'm going to be coming in as the Bundesliga side. Start near the bottom with aspirations of European nights, which I want to take this team to, a historic team over in Germany. As let's rebuild Hamburger in the Bundesliga to try and win the Champions League. As yes, people, here we are with this side, finally going for a promoted team outside of England, and it looks quite good. Karabech down here, what a player, the 20-year-old midfielder. Ludovit Reis has stayed with the team a long time, he's really been loyal to the cause. Then we've got players like Robert Glatzel, who I believe was at Cardiff City at one point. Miro Mulheim, the two highest rated are only 74. And we are now in the Bundesliga, so this is going to be a really hard challenge. The other team I did promote won the league. I think it was Cologne. They would have been somewhere on that table, so yes, just two teams promoted. Kept Heidenheim in this league because I wanted to make it a bit of a challenge. To stay up is 23 million, and there's only one rebuild rule I want to make, and that is I want to keep around 5 German players in this squad at all times. And it may require a formation change because not many Germans in this squad, and plus we do need to survive in a very difficult top division. So more emphasis on a change of shape. This is the formation I'm going to go with. Counter-attacking style with a deep defensive approach, allowing me to feed my German players in, because another thing I never deeped was the loan players we can bring back. Lucas Perrin, he's going to join the club again. Same with the likes of Guilherme Ramos, a few centre-backs out on loan. But then we do get rid of Karabech, and we do get rid of Richter.
I've got nothing left.
Making the team weaker, but still we've got some players out of contract as well. Got to pay these up, like Davie Selke, the striker. 6'5", an absolute beast, and I definitely want to keep him at Hamburg, leaving us £21 million after recall fees and contract offers, as I really do want to get a cam in this team, also maybe a left wing. Katzenbach is a left back who could probably use a loan deal first, as we do have players like Bekri Jatta and also Ransford. I'm not going to try and say that second name. Maybe I do. Königsdörffer. Let me know in the comments below if I got that right. Probably didn't. Anyway, our first players, Reda Kadra is the cam. He comes in as the first signing, as the second one is this man though, Aaron Zietner. He's a left back / left mid. And here he is, that second guy. Some decent defensive stats on him, although he's unhappy and he's got no sharpness. Brilliant is that for the 20-year-old. Even joined at a 19-year-old, as Kadra's a little bit better. He's 23 in that cam position, 277 rated strikers, meaning them two must have scored goals, but we've got a lot of position changes to make. Starting with Moyheim, and I'm actually going to put him in the defensive midfield. Try that out with Ludovit Reis. And also Lucas Poregba. He goes into that position like Bekri Jatta goes to a right mid. Although he was glued to the bench, and in the battle of the strikers, it's Davie Selke with the most, 18 goals, 0 assists. How greedy, as a lot of players actually put out on loan, as we did survive. Look at St. Pauli, 1 win all season. Screwed without their gaffer that ran away from them to go to Brighton. Oh my days though, hammered on penalties by Hoffenheim. That one in the Pokal, and with Augsburg in the relegation playoffs. Is there any decent players over there? Because I know they're a decent Bundesliga team. But so are we after season 1. I really rate this team, but do you know what else I rate? You right there watching, if you decide to hit a like and subscribe to the channel. Literally will mean the world to me, and this is how the current affairs are. We've got Kadra, who's brilliant. Moyheim, who can play CDM. But we're not just looking at these players here. Oh no, we loaned a lot of players out. The young guns are back. Fabio Balde could be a decent player. Also this defender, Abubakar Soumahoro, a Frenchman. Never really heard of him. We've got Mikel Buensoir, who's another one. And Königsdörffer, who I believe actually stayed on our bench. With all these young lads here, we could of course make a really good team. But I do want to keep our German spine, and I think we start with a goalkeeper. The one we currently have is aging and 28 million. What about the relegated team, St. Pauli and FC Köln? Unfortunately, Augsburg survived, so they don't have decent ones. And Marvin Schwabe, 30-year-old. I don't really want him. And then over at St. Pauli, Nikola Vlasic. Nah, not for me. In fact, none of them are. They've really got a lot of keepers. What about non-goalkeepers, though? Especially at St. Pauli to go that bad. They must have someone who needs saving, and Nelson Viper looks a decent player. Yes, only 71 rated, but we actually don't have a backup striker. So he comes onto the bench, and I'm sure he's going to get his opportunity. Especially considering the age of Glatzel and Selke. Gonna need a retirement home soon, but still we are going to sell some players for some money. For our next signing, that goalkeeper, Bakary Jatta, we didn't need. William, our French right back, really good, but we're never going to use him. If we stick to the formation we currently have, and 2 more players being sold. In Jean-Luc Dompe to Southampton, and then the captain Fernandes. And no, not Bruno Fernandes, a different Portuguese one. Meaning we do need another keeper, and I want one to replicate René Adler, a legendary one they had before from Germany, so it fits the bill for us. Signing another German player because I am keeping the tradition up. We've gone with Murphy, the new captain in defence, next to Schonelau. And the money that we've received from all our transfers out of the club has gave us enough to get the wonder kid, Jonas Urbig. This kid is special, man. 22, 83 rated already. We've literally just signed him up, and he was 79, as this is the rest of the squad. Zainter is now 75, so he's actually fitting of this team. The defense still rather weak. Kadra and Selke improving. Unfortunately, nothing in the way of Robert Glatzel. He is 32. He might need to get sold. And Viper's not improved much. In fact, Nemeth has taken over him. As we've taken over the Bundesliga. No, we've not won it, but I'm definitely celebrating. Europa League football with Hamburg, who should go further. Now gone are the years of bottling it. We're actually in the top flight again. And now we've got to win the Champions League, a feat that this club's completed before. One of 3 German clubs to do it, and let the celebrations continue. No DFB Pokal, but I don't care. We've reached the Europa League. Not the Champions League, sorry, but we still want to win the Europa as beaten by Dortmund. The eventual winners of the competition, as we want to be where Benfica are. And this starts from the ground up, releasing players we don't really need no more. As the likes of Ramos, one of our centre-backs, I believe, leave, but leavers with 55 million, that's a lot of leaves I've just said. And this is our side now. Ludovit Reis I thought will be a bit higher rated. We've changed Merfed to a centre-back, but still we need to replace him. Viper's lacking a little bit, still 21-year-old. He's got time to improve. And maybe just needs a loan deal, as Katabac I've loaned out each season. He's grown, same as the defender, Sumahoro. What a wonder kid this is, man. He's left-footed. He could get into the team at some point, but is he really Europa League quality? Because that's what we've got to be thinking about, and I really wanted to cash in on this man, but Robert Glatzel's gonna retire, so that stops us getting money for him. And it's got me thinking about Davie Selke, because if he's 31 as well, we probably want to get cash for him, so he's another play going on the transfer list. As out he pops, leaving this team, needing a desperate rebuild again. Got us promoted from the 2nd division and now departs for West Ham. They like their European strikers. They got Fulkrug and now him. As 96 million, we can go big on his replacement. As my thoughts for this season is to get someone to partner Glatzel, loan out this man Viper, let him go out on loan, and maybe Nemeth. Gamble with 2 of them out on loan, although a risk will bring a free agent in to just sit on our bench for 1 season and then spend on centre-backs. That's ultimately what needs to happen, as Mbai Nyang is the one I'm bringing in. Sure, this guy had a good FIFA card at one point and only will sit on the bench for now. He'll be a decent player to bring off the bench, as I'm going to go cheap on a centre-back and hopefully let him grow in Armel Bella Kocha. Isn't this guy an ex-botcher man? Whatever the case is, he's now at Hamburg. Another German to add to our backline, so that's good for our objectives of what I'm trying to do here. But look at Jonathan Burkhardt, a really promising striker in real life, now ending up at Ipswich. And to be fair, an Ipswich town that have survived in the Premier League may be down to him. But sorry, not sorry to the Tractor Boys. I'm going to have to take him for myself. Let's plonk him back into Europe where he belongs and get him out of the Ipswich town relegation battle Very surprised he was in. And after last season's Europa League qualification, we're back where we belong. Champions League football, competing with Dortmund and Bayern Munich. I'd say back beyond the greats, but of course we've got to keep our spot here and go for that UCL trophy, which I said has been done before. By us right here, Hamburg. And guess what? We're not just winning the league, but we're winning the DFB Pokal. That striker must have been a great signing. I'll leave you in suspense about the Europa League, but look what Burkhardt's done. 38 goals in 52 games for Hamburg. That got him into the team of the year alongside Urbig. Our goalkeeper 85, but I also saw this man get 12 assists. Zenza, look at that. He's gone up +6 and 12 assists, 4 goals. We've got Sumahoro increasing, but he's slightly off what we wanted him to be. Nemethi's up to a 75, but then we've got Viper up to an 80. Huge thanks goes to Niang for just covering that position for 1 season and not letting us down. But do you know what did let us down? After beating them in the first leg, Hoffenheim 4-3 means we go out in the quarterfinals of the Europa League, won by Arsenal. A shame, but the Champions League is so much more important as the Super Cup. Alongside 71 million euros, it's brilliant to rebuild this Hamburg side. And yes, I just used the word rebuild as Viper and Burkhardt. 2 very promising strikers, but I don't see any sign of Ludovit Reis. One of the most loyal players in football to Hamburg stayed with the relegation, but now goes to be a free agent. I swear he just signed up a new contract. Is this just something he's trying to do to try and get more money out of the club? Well, no, because his recommended wage is lower than the one that he's actually proposed.
What the f are you doing?
All a little bit weird from him, but he's back in the team as we need a centre-back who doesn't actually need to be from Germany. We've got plenty of Germans in this team right now. So maybe could sell the captain again. We're expected to win the Bundesliga title and reach the quarterfinals of the Champions League. That will be a decent welcome back. Be competitive is what I'd say. I don't expect us to get anywhere near it. I'm honest, I'm open, and I'm stupidly making the same mistake twice. Jonas Murphy is retiring at the end of the season at 32, and Sebastian Schulau the same. So we actually can't sell them. Brilliant. Strands us for money as now I want to go for a young centre-back, as 2 of our young signings we've made have actually got in the team of the season. Showing growth is something that can happen really quick, and Pro League, they have a bunch of decent players that do like to step into Bundesliga football. Pacho is probably the biggest example. Come on, there's always one decent one. We just need to keep on scrolling down here, and there's an 80 rated right there. Antoine Mendy, 23 years of age. Oh my days, and Bruges had a howler. He must have grown with dynamic potential, but his release clause is actually half of his market evaluation. This is rare. I never see this happen. They've had a honker with that contract and won't get a release clause here as he jumps straight into the middle of our back 3. And we are still so far off it. I mean, we've qualified for the Champions League again. Made a brilliant signing with the money, but am I happy?
Am I happy with that? No, I'm not. I want more.
20 points behind Bayern Munich, and we've proven that we can beat them in the Super Cup, gaining a trophy. But come on, we need to win the Bundesliga title now. This isn't just a team with previous kudos in the Champions League. Hamburg are a team that have won the Bundesliga 6 times in their history. So it would only be right winning it again, but another defeat to Bayern Munich. This time in the Pokal, won by Eintracht Frankfurt. Shout out Ollie Glasner, won the Europa League with Frankfurt, but 25th in the Champions League phase. 1 win. Draws letting us down, and his team is good as well. We've got to give a shout out to players like Mulheim, played CDM, 84 rated. Perrine's been brilliant since the start. Also this man Sahiti, 98 pace, as only 1 team of the season player yet again. Burkhardt, who's our highest rated player, him and Urbig absolutely flying. Farai's doing really decently. Viper getting some goals as well, but yeah, 22 and 10 assists for Jonathan Burkhardt. From where we've come from with Hamburg, this is a phenomenal story so far, but we need to deliver a bit more success, win the Pokal, UCL again, and now the Champions League semi-finals, but we didn't win it in our first season. Maybe we could make it the second, because we really do well in the Champions League, especially when we've got tactics working as Viper and Burkhardt. Their partnership is incredible. Now Burkhardt at an 89 really should be the best striker in this league. Now Robert Lewandowski Lewandowski's gone and 142 million. The board are backing us for a decent year. Not directly saying it to us, but they probably want that UCL title. And I do as Perrine. He's been a brilliant servant to the club so far. For that next step, we need someone good, and in fact, he's going on the transfer list. And believe it or not, Emir Sahiti's been brilliant, but I am going to try and sell him. I am sorry. I think Königsdörffer's decent enough for a bench position, and Rede Kadra, I actually am going to shove out wide. 99 acceleration, 96 crossing. It would be stupid not to. As you'll see the plan coming into place in a minute, as Perrine had a face scan. I didn't even realise that, and he's made the move to Arsenal, developing his career, and Sahiti's gone to Newcastle. Two brilliant Premier League moves for players that have served us so well. But now 215 million, a decent squad as it is. And I think the first place to start is by going and getting the best German player back into our division, because Jamal Musiala made the move to City, and this is going to be expensive, 164 minimum. Now you see why I moved Kadra, as I'm going to throw 200 mil at the start. 214, are you joking me? Just take 204. As whilst you think about it, because they're stalling, I'm going to sell Farah for a bit more cash in order to land this man, and we do. He's got a huge wage, it's took more money. 210 million as the only replacement now is needed for Elfadli, and it's going to be Anton, ex-Dortmund, so another player experienced at the top level in Germany. And I don't know, I genuinely don't know what to say. Bayern Munich have their fall off, yet we still don't win the league because of Leipzig. I think every single fan in football wanted us to win it over them right now. But the Red Bull Club go and do it, and we're not even in the DFB Pokal. Beat by Freiburg 4-2, a team that's really doing well in real life. Think they got Conference League football. I mean, at least we're through into a playoff round. In the Champions League, which was won, then the round of 16 won as well. We beat AC Milan in the quarterfinals, and then beat Villarreal in the semis to draw Real Madrid in the Champions League final. We've somehow made it. I love it, but then on the other hand, we could have been playing Bayern if they didn't get smashed. It's going to be Real Madrid, and yeah, the fact we actually didn't win this league with the wingers 88 and 94 Musiala, 91 Burkhardt up front, who scored 40 goals in a season. Viper got 29, then Musiala obviously got a lot of assists and goals. Zenta the assist man. And you might be thinking, Max, Ludovit Reis for captain in the finale? But no, if we win this trophy, I want it to be this man, Moyheim. Want to see him lifting the trophy because he's been really loyal. He's had to change his position to fit into this squad as Vinicius Jr. stopped by Bella Kocha and Mendy at the same time. Okay, not a really good start in this finale. Kadra can't go backwards. They've got Bellingham, Vinny Jr. still at this moment in time as now Ludovit Reis. He can pick out a pass, goes into Burkhardt. I need him a little bit more centrally, but Kadra picking it across. He's really not done well with it that time. 96 crossing on the man as Moyheim, the captain, picks it back up. Ludovit Reis shoots from range. What a save by Donnarumma. Fantastic player as Zetner. That's out wide though. This could be a chance. Musiala into Viper. Not much of the ball for Burkhardt. Despite early domination, and that's a very good ball into the box. Despite early domination in the game, and that is a very decent ball towards Jonathan Tah, the standout man from the first half, and that is a ball into Jamal Musiala. He's playing as a wide player. That's a good ball into Jonathan Burkhardt. Again with the big chance, but Kylian Mbappe, no. Big save, Erbig. Oh my days, he's still bouncing around. Erbig with yet another save. What a 0-0 game this is as Vinicius Jr. Oh my days, he's turning and weaving. We need to try and get a block in here. Jude Bellingham into Reinders in the midfield. It's all around. It's a shot. It's another save, Jonas Erbig. And it's a counter-attacking opportunity. We need to time that ball to perfection. Chip over the top for Burkhardt. Carrillo in the way. Just not timed very well as Kylian Mbappe. There we go. Was only a matter of time. Oh my days, this could be over. We could need to go into the UCL for a third season straight. Just haven't got Burkhardt into the game, but here he is. You never know. He's around the defender straight away from kickoff. It is Jonathan Burkhardt. When the pressure's on, he scores. He's just got Mainz into the Conference League, and now for Frankfurt, or not Frankfurt, Hamburg, he's leveled it up. That much riding on this game, I even forgot the team we're coaching as Musiala's more central now. We cannot mess up on those passes, needing to get the ball forward, but then he's gone out wide again as Musiala. I've told him not to anymore. But now he needs to beat the defender. I believe that's Achimapong. That's a good ball into Viper. He's got Burkhardt at the side of him. Oh, no. His touch was goddamn terrible. And it's going to take us to extra time. Kadra, I'd like to see a bit more involved. But Musiala, again, going into the wing position now. Pulls it back for Kadra. Tries to drill his way through a defence, which is as strong as a brick wall, as now Nweri on the field. What a ball from Donnarumma. There's a man inside. We need to watch the pass into Bellingham. To say we've only had 3 defenders, we've defended brilliantly in this game. Now as Khedira hit Viper. Viper's on the running towards them centre-backs. A man actually committed with a slide as Jonathan Burkhardt. Really thought that was destined to go in. As Zeitner, now Jamal Musiala on the edge of the box, picking up a pocket, going for a shot, which, if I'm honest, I thought would do a lot more damage than it actually did. And a counter-attack in this second half. It's Kadra running like his feet are in cement, but if he can just get a shot off, penalty surely! And yes, the referee has pointed to the spot before the penalty shootout. We have 1-1, definitely a pen. Carrillo, absolutely stupid from the defender. And it's only one man to take this. It's got to be Jonathan Burkhardt, scored in the game. I think he's got 88. Penalties! Sticks it in the top corner. And surely Hamburg right now have 1 hand and a half on the trophy. Just attach yourself to that ball as I just whacked it. And fortunate enough to win a corner. I want to shoot because I don't want to give anything away in terms of for a counter-attack, but an obvious handball from Asensio. Maybe chance for a hat-trick hero as Jonathan Burkhardt, come on, get that hat-trick with a Panenka down the middle. That is surely the Champions League now wrapped up for Hamburg. I'm gambling with the trophy. Early as look at that. 2 penalties in extra time. See, Hamburg lift it. It will be Mulheim. He's deserved it. The Swiss has earned his place in this team. As which team earns its place as the next rebuild on the channel? Let me know in them comments below. I've got a few ones planned for the next coming weeks, which I think will be really good, but if you want an instant video, click right here.